Many Jobs' team of craftsmen perform each one of these important steps thoroughly to ensure that every shower they install remains watertight. It begins with demolition and then plumbing the drain plate, making sure it's flush with the floor. The curb at the entry to the shower is built of pressure-treated wood. The pan liner, a solid sheet of rubber, is carefully placed over the entire floor and up the wall to ensure no water can escape. At the corners, the pan liner is folded, not cut. Cut corners will leak no matter how well they are glued. That's why Mini Jobs folds the liner to make the corners. The liner is only nailed to the studs well above the height of the curb. The curb is waterproofed by cutting the liner down to the top of the curb. Next, the liner is folded over the top edge of the curb and down the outside. Then it's nailed into place. The curb is made waterproof with the addition of special rubber corners that are glued in place at both the entry side of the curb and on the shower side as well. They are nailed, but only to the studs above the curb. They are never nailed to the curb itself. Felt is installed as part of the waterproofing of the walls of the shower. Moisture-resistant concrete wallboard covers the felt and supports the tile. Tile grout is moisture-resistant, not waterproof. The wallboard and felt ensures that any moisture that seeps through the grout finds its way back into the pan and down the drain. A shim is placed on top of the curb at its front edge. This tilts the concrete board inward so that water running down the door flows into the shower and not onto the floor outside. The locking plate for the drain has weep holes to let any water that gets into the pan flow into the drain. The locking plate is attached by twisting it onto 4 locking bolts screwed into the drain. These bolts are tightened, assuring a watertight seal between the locking plate and the drain. The actual shower drain piece is spun onto the locking plate. Mortar lines drawn around the walls of the shower are used to determine the height of the shower drain. Before pouring the floor, tissue paper is placed over the weep holes to prevent the pan fill from clogging them. The tissue covering the weep holes is taped down, and the shower drain is covered with tape to protect it. Mortar fill is then added from the fill lines and tapered down to the drain. After drying overnight, the mortar bed is shaped and smoothed by hand so the water will flow over the tile and into the drain. The slope is checked with levels. Mini Jobs installs the tile on the floor and walls. The new shower is ready to enjoy for many years to come. When Mini Jobs completes these detailed steps, their customer is assured of a watertight shower.